Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at a thread that's getting a lot of attention on Twitter. It is one that is attempting to blame the current issues in gaming on anti-woke grifter YouTubers who care about things like appealing character designs. Yes, we're hearing that buzzword again, grifter. It's another word that's lost all meaning. But I find it very ironic that this post was made yesterday, the same day Relooted was officially released, and we talked about it in yesterday's video, but this has been an absolute disaster of a launch, and it represents what's really wrong with the gaming industry right now. You have this game that is unappealing in its sort of foundation. It's unappealing with its character designs, and on top of that, it's been used as a purity test by games journalists and activists on Twitter, basically saying if you don't find this game appealing, you're a bigot, whatever. And of course, it focuses on the modern audience who, once again, did not show up. Now, here is the thread we're looking at. I'll read through it in just a second, but basically you can see the names here. They're blaming these supposed anti-woke YouTube grifters for causing irreparable damage to gaming discussion. And this is quoting a thread talking about character designs. That's kind of the main focus here. They're mad at these YouTubers for wanting more appealing designs and more fun games. Wow, I can't believe it. I always go back to this thread whenever the discussion about character designs and whether or not they're attractive or aspirational, appealing, whatever word you want to use. Because back in 2025, the creator of Lords of the Fallen made this poll asking people what they think. And after 11,000 votes, 84% of people chose yes, saying they want appealing character designs. Now, if you take this even in the most extreme, where you combine the people saying no, all 2.5% of them, with the people who don't care, if you want to ignore having appealing designs, you're left with 15% of people, okay? And I think it's very obvious from the original poster of the thread we're reading today. They seem to really like the design of the main protagonist for Naughty Dog's upcoming release, Intergalactic. And this is a great example of the poll we just saw. Man, would you look at that? Having this as the face of your new game, and people really don't like it. They're not impressed. And then you see how it pans out in the trailer here in the reaction with 100,000 likes versus 300,000 dislikes, which is actually a pretty close percentage to the poll we just saw. Go figure, am I right? But of course, who are the type of people making these threads? Well, bio checks out, and then you see their values, right? Yesterday, they also made another stunning and brave post saying that they're basically blocking anyone who posts anything to do with AI on Twitter. Like, they're fuming about that. But then in literally the previous tweets, they said in quotes, "You laughed when Charlie Kirk got assassinated," end quote. Yeah, and I don't feel bad for it. So this is the modern audience who is very angry at these supposed grifters, and they want all this empathy and all this stuff, and this is their values. It's very, well, not surprising at all. But let's go back to the thread. Let's read through it. Critical Drinker, Asmongold, Nerdrotic, Grums, and these anti-woke YouTube grifters have done irreparable damage to gaming discussion. We could be talking about level design, environment, game mechanics, and stuff that's actually about, games, but no, it's stuff like this, referring to a debate about characters being appealing or not in their designs. And let's start off here, okay? The top. The anti-woke YouTube grifters. Can you please explain to me how these people are grifters? How are any of these people lying about their beliefs for some sort of monetary gain? Maybe these people have a lot of support because their opinions on gaming, including character designs, represent the majority of people. I know Twitter can get confusing because posts will go viral, typically getting botted, saying the opposite of what we're talking about here. But no, the proof is here. That's why people like these mentioned here get a lot of supports. And down here, this is crazy because a lot of the posts calling out people and raising issues in the gaming scene and among YouTubers who talk about that stuff, they really typically want to be disingenuous with their points, right? They don't really have a point, so they're just being disingenuous, or they're fighting straw man arguments or something like that. But here, this is the next level. This is gaslighting. They are literally telling everyone, including those watching this video, that what you've experienced and what you have witnessed over the past 10 plus years in the gaming industry didn't actually happen the way you think it did. It was actually all the faults of people like Critical Drinker, Asmongold, Nerdrotic, and Grums, and other anti-woke YouTube grifters. It's all their faults. Now, of course, that's ridiculous. People who are criticizing what's going on in the industry were reacting to what the industry and anything associated with it was already doing. So this part about we could be talking about level design, environment, game mechanics, stuff that's actually about the game. Yeah, I hope so too. I would really like a return to that one day. That'd be pretty neat. But we have seen for over a decade, whether it's through like Feminist Frequency and Anita Sarkeesian or those sorts of people who started the whole Gamergate situation, this has been something in motion for a very long time. We know how insufferable games journalists can be. We know how insufferable activists are on Twitter. And that's who, unfortunately, a lot of industry designers and devs, they're listening to those people. And that's the big mistake. But let's see some of the reaction to this. It's okay to hate atrocious character designs. Very true. Translation. They showed up, criticized us. Normal people agreed with them. And we lost our social traction. So they're grifters, because that's a word I've seen used negatively. I am very smart. Correct. It's exactly how their brain works when they're making these posts. Oh no, people like beautiful things. People have always talked about looks of characters in movies, games, every art medium, but for some reason you're here coping and seething. That's the thing too. Like, if you want to have whatever character design that's not traditional or unappealing, whatever, you'll find something. But why are you so against it? Like, what is it about having appealing designs that just makes people so angry? I don't know. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Who knows at this point? But here's another one saying, I disagree. Game companies themselves did the damage with the choices they made and the instance of calling all criticism, including valid ones, as being a form of bigotry or ism. Very true. Pains me someone will come to this post and still defend them or continue saying the same crap. Well, people like myself come here because you're making claims, this OP's making claims about people being grifters and that they're the ones who have completely ruined gaming discussion, but they offer no proof. And then they try to gaslight you and tell you what you saw and what you experienced with the gaming industry. Oh, it's actually the other way around. Like, it's so obvious that they're lying here and they're gaslighting. But in response to that, they say, oh, we got one already, referring to someone defending the people in the post. And it says, maybe those people shouldn't have talked about exactly the same effing thing for 16 years then. There wouldn't be an anti-woke side if the woke side didn't start this BS. Yeah, you're posting bangers. This person makes a good point. You're showing this like it's like a hall of shame for this person, but no, this is the only positive reception this OP has gotten on anything because, well, they shared a good take, unlike theirs. But it goes on, and this whole thread, by the way, has 20,000 likes. 20,000 likes, around 1 million views, and I think there's maybe like 1% of the replies agreeing with them, and the rest, in terms of quotes, are almost all negative. Like, this is the most artificial stuff I've ever seen. But let's read a couple more. Some of the quotes here from Grums, who was called out in this post, saying, you mess with games for a decade. You demand all games change to meet your political views. You fire devs that don't agree and blacklist them. You cancel and dox everyone who dares to disagree. You lead a campaign of fear and ruin lives. We push back. We're winning. Here's another one saying, yeah, this person really tried to blame YouTubers for this when these women were ground zero. I mean, literally, we had people like Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian speaking in front of the UN. Like, this is one of those times you could say, yeah, I think grifter is appropriate here. All they did was farm outrage and say whatever it took to get them the most power and money. That sounds a lot more like grifting than these YouTubers who are mentioned. But anyways, let's see here. Here's the thing though. The anti-woke grifters aren't the ones making modern Western games. The types of people here below are the ones making them, and they prioritize politics and personal bias over the very things you say gamers should talk about. And it's funny. Thanks for jogging my memory here. Some people have noticed that a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, Chris Kindred, just said on Twitter that they helped make Relooted. Another kiss of death from a Sweet Baby Inc. involved project. Amazing stuff. But, oh yeah, and I forgot. There's another reference to Charlie Kirk's assassination. The OP posted this literally like within 24 hours of it happening. Like, we know what they meant by this post. Crazy stuff. You can create a game with perfect level design, soundtrack, story, environment, gameplay mechanics, but at the end of the day, no one wants to play as an ugly character. Yeah, people might not like to hear that last part, but that's how it plays out. It's not that this always happens, but it happens a lot. And it's been happening for years, despite people saying, oh, that's not... No, guys, wait for the Game Pass results. Steam DB doesn't reflect actual numbers or whatever. Like the amount of excuses or, oh, guys, player count is a good metric for how many sales, not actual copies sold and things like that. But yeah, we've seen this sort of dynamic play out over and over again. But of course, the original poster is getting dunked on some more. This was at 15 likes last night. And then people are like, that was before you decided to purchase bots. It was like at 15 before I entered my payment info and purchase likes. I'll give this person a break. I have a theory. Hang in there, okay? Nothing these days seems like a tinfoil hat conspiracy. But I think there are people out there botting things that other people are posting that reflect their own interests or their agenda. I think that happens a lot too. The actual original poster isn't doing it, someone else is. And, it leads to funny results. But they also added another reply saying, I want to personally thank everyone who took time out of their calendar to comment all these wonderful things on the most random tweet ever. I know who to block now. Good day. Yes, well, that was a good conversation, very productive. And I have to thank you for the free content as per usual. Twitter's always coming in clutch with the latest takes whining about YouTubers, gaming, and people just having common sense. That's kind of the denominator in all of this. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.